Good morning. There are three important pillars, foundations of Chinese culture that are unique to China and alien to us from the Western countries. First is that when a boy gets married, the boy's family is expected to have a home ready for him and his new wife to live in. The boy's family is buying an apartment, or they've got one ready for him right now for their son to raise his new family in. The house comes first. Chinese women expect this, and the parents of Chinese girls especially so. That's the first thing. The second is that after the couple has a new baby, one set of grandparents will help that couple with the child rearing. They'll babysit the baby during the day, cook meals for the whole family, and so on. When you meet a Chinese person in his 50s, they'll often tell you that their job is to look after their grandchild so their son or daughter can go to work. And they don't think it's a demotion or a step down. They might have come from an executive sales job or a manager job to being a full-time babysitter. And the arrangement's pretty simple. A new baby comes, and every day, grandma or grandpa, sometimes both, will come over during the day for all day, and this arrangement will continue through primary school. Stand outside an elementary school when the bell rings, and you'll see 500 older people waiting outside to walk the kids home. That's the culture. However, since 1990, hundreds of millions of young Chinese have moved from rural areas to urban ones. Apartments in the city are smaller than homes in the countryside, and they're much more expensive. But this aspect of the culture endures, and Chinese grandparents still expect to serve in this role, and they are expected to serve in the role. Usually one of the grandmothers in the beginning, and later often the grandfather too, will move to the city in the apartment where the baby is. But again, the city apartments are smaller, they're more expensive, and for many non-Chinese who see all this, it does seem like it's more trouble than it's worth because of the trade-off in privacy and in living space. And this arrangement for families in the city being crowded and expensive, soon enough it becomes obvious to everyone that one baby is enough, it's plenty. Another baby means another bedroom, means they need to reset the clock on how long grandma is going to be living with us. But the housing price crash in China is scrambling all of that again. Now the prices are much less expensive than before. It's bad to be a property developer during a real estate crash, but for everyone else, the options are multiplying every day. All of a sudden, it's a lot less expensive to buy a bigger apartment with another bedroom. And all of a sudden, grandma doesn't need to move into a tiny room in our already small apartment. She can buy her own place in the same building or same neighborhood. These collapsing property prices are terrible for property investors who bought extra apartments as investments, but they're the best thing ever for young families. Now, the in-laws don't have to live all day and night. They can live in a nearby building, and we'll see them again tomorrow when it's time to walk the kid to school. Now, in-laws are a blessing again instead of a hassle. And so is the idea of having another baby. These headlines here are all suggestive of a change in Chinese government policy to rescue the housing market, to rescue property investors and the developers. Their declared policy is that houses are for living in, not for speculation. That has not changed. There is still zero appetite for China's government to make real estate speculation a driver in the economy as it was before. And that's obvious when we read the articles, past the headlines, and see the ways these policies have changed. And this is the third part of Chinese culture that's alien to us foreigners too. Because 5 seconds after the wedding, 4 would-be grandparents are asking them every day when they're going to have a baby. The pressure is relentless. The governments all across Asia are encouraging young people to have more babies. But that all adds up to 0 compared to what kids are hearing every day from their own parents. 3 things then. Cultural issues that cut very, very deep here, over many, many centuries here. And Beijing has figured out that they solve a lot of their problems all at the same time, just by letting a handful of over-leveraged property developers go bankrupt. This one is Xinjiang, northwest China. Be good.
Love your neighbor as yourself. Pray for those who hurt you. Love your enemies. Do unto others as you want others to do for you. Store up for yourself treasure in heaven. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. No man can serve